Today on Spotlight, meet the artists of the 2026 Laumeier Art Fair, appreciating nature in a unique way while you might see him walking in your neighborhood someday. Plus, what happens when you combine paint and embroidery? The results might take you back. But first, if you love art with meaning, wait until you see how she brings geography to life.
My name's Malaika Tolford. I make functional ceramic work using a combo of hand building and wheel throwing. And I usually decorate my work with maps and architecture and general themes around the built environment. I've been interested in art since I was a little kid. My grandfather was a graphic designer, and I come from a family of doodlers. But I found clay in high school and fell in love and never really looked at any other medium again. I really enjoy making functional objects. I think that I get satisfaction from knowing that I create something that is useful for somebody's everyday life and they get to interact with it in a very physical way. In my pieces, the forms are usually pretty simple. They kind of act as a canvas for more intricate surface design techniques. And I do a combination of screen printing. I make design stencils digitally and use those in my work. So a lot of the surface decoration that I create is usually map themed. I work from more abstract, city grids and water systems, but then also I use a lot of historic map imagery in my work as well, pulling from all sorts of sources just to find interesting visuals. Throw my mugs on the wheel, trim them, add handles. Everything gets fired once in a bisque firing, and then after they're fired that first time, I add a decorative element. So that might be doing screen printing or using stencils and wax, and then glazing them, and then firing them again. The designs I create, I really love it when people appreciate them just as a design object, but then also I love it when my work gets really personal. So I do a lot of custom stuff where people will say, I got engaged on this mountaintop. I want a topographic map on a mug, So I love thinking about how people, using these objects every day get to reflect on the places that are important to them. And I also love learning about those places too. It really scratches an itch for me to work with places that are significant to other people.
Meet the artists in person on Mother's Day weekend at Laumeier Sculpture Park.
Hi, I am Norman Spencer. I'm a printmaker working in St. Louis. I like to make woodcuts and linocuts based on nature and architecture. I like to make prints based on what attracts me to life, such as birds. I'm an avid bird watcher. I love collecting plants, and I love architecture. I've always been inspired by the lines in different forms of architecture, and I love taking a walk through different neighborhoods and seeing the different types of homes that they have. I think what draws people in most to my work is the use of color, as well as the subject matter itself. It tends to pop out and stand out in an art market as far as the medium and the colors that I use. I am a printmaker working mostly with block printing, so linoleum and woodcuts. The way that I create my work is through the reduction method. So I'll start off with one block and I'll add color to the paper, and as I add color, I'll take it away from the block, so that all that's left, usually at the end on the block, is the final color that I use. What's always drawn me to the process is the hands-on nature of it. It's a very meditative practice. You can get lost in the carving process of it, and just hours pass by and you come back and you have this great piece that you can print. Each printmaker has their own different style. Everyone's approach to the block is a little bit different. I think that my subject matter and the way that I approach it is what's different. Two people may do a house, but it's not going to be the same. I hope to see you at the art fair, where I can tell you more about my work and you can see it for yourself. Just look for the tent. It's Cloud Hotel Prints.
Watch the full 2026 Laumeier Art Fair playlist on YouTube at Who Else Loves Art to meet more artists from the fair.
I'm Maggie Jackman, and I'm a mixed media artist, and I work mostly in acrylic paint mixed with embroidery. So most of the time I'll lay a bunch of paint first, and then I come back after and do all the embroidered details. I've been interested in art really my whole life. I kind of grew up doing like little arts and crafts projects and just kind of making things in general. Like I painted rocks as a kid, was like my version of the lemonade stand. I started doing craft shows about 14 years ago now, and back then I would make anything and everything, really. Dog bandanas, candles, pillows, and I just randomly tried a little embroidery design and it sold so fast. I was like, I'm gonna make another one. And that just sort of started taking over the whole business, and I just kind of let it. I've always been more apt towards like math and science, like in school and stuff. I was always way better at that. And the embroidery, it's one color at a time. So it's a little bit more mathematical than like painting. There's no blending of the color together to mix it. You have to figure out where you want to place it more exactly to get it all to come together. First usually comes subject matter. I'm really into like nostalgia. So if I want to do something like 90s, or I rode horses growing up, so I'll get the subject matter in my head. And the hardest part is kind of getting that on paper from in my brain. So once I get the drawing down, color comes in, and that's where I have a lot of fun and get my artistic flair going. Everything I do is on raw canvas or linen. So everything I do is like a flat piece of fabric when I paint. It's not stretched or anything. So I paint it flat, and then I kind of have to peel it off my desk because it's kind of dried to it. And then I put it in like an embroidery hoop or an embroidery frame to do all the stitching. I love to see people come in the booth and connect with something they didn't expect to. For example, I do these pieces of like little game controllers, and especially 90s kids will come in and see that Xbox controller and they're like, oh my God, that's my childhood. So it's really fun to see people get joy and be like, connect on these little kind of mundane objects. I kind of base the subjects off anything that gives me a warm fuzzy. Like I have a piece of a skeleton hand holding Chinese food, and it's crazy to see people come in and be like, oh my God, that makes me happy too. It's such a weird thing, but the human experience I feel is so shared that really anything you could think of that makes you kind of smile is gonna make somebody else out there smile too.
Check out HEC Media's YouTube channels, like Innovation in Action, sharing local research and advancements with far-reaching impact. New content is always being added. HEC Media on YouTube.
My name is Robert Asselmeier, and I am a woodworker. My art is based on saving and preserving the spirit energy of the life of a tree. I do that through sculpture and wood turning of vessels. It can be vases, bowls, plates, things like that. I believe that these trees throughout their life, their existence in these locations, they absorb and take on the energy of their surroundings. And if I can save just even one aspect of that tree, I feel like that energy resides even still in that one piece, and it lives on within my work. Everything that I work with is taken from the forest floor. So it's a very sustainable woodworking. So no living trees are cut down. Things aren't cut off of living trees. I literally go out in the forest and in areas and look for trees that have already fallen. A lot of people ask me how I can look at a tree and see what's going on inside of it. Like, why did you decide to save that piece? I believe that my background in 3D special effects animation, doing like volumetric stuff, being able to see what's going on inside of fire and smoke, but then also recreating wood, grain and wood texture for video has, I believe in some way, given me this ability to see what's going on within a volume of a tree. It all starts with spending time in nature, looking for something that has already fallen or is about to fall, and then deciding what elements of that tree would best represent its existence. At that point, it comes back to my shop, and then is further refined down to extract like the element of that tree that I saw. At that point, it's moved into different stages of storage. So it takes a long time for these pieces to dry, sometimes 2-3 years from the point that I actually find them and collect them to getting them on the lathe and being able to turn something or sculpt or carve something. So it's definitely not an art for instant gratification whatsoever. I want people to feel the energy of the pieces when they're held in their hands. And my pieces connect with the person that they're meant to go to. I pretty much hugged every person that has taken one of my pieces. I don't sell them online. I have such a strong attachment to the trees that I save that I want to know who they're going with. One of the things that I find so beautiful about this is these are pieces that are going to be handed down through generations.
HEC Media has 6 YouTube channels, including science, history, art, authors, Black History, Achievement and Culture, and all things St. Louis. Find your favorite, then scroll down to explore HEC Media's other partner channels, all on YouTube.
My name is Jenny Lin, and I am a digital artist. I started out as a traditional artist, and then in college I switched to more digital stuff because I was a graphic design major. And then I fell in love with the flexibility of digital art. I've always been into art, like ever since I can remember. I was always really into art. I'm very drawn to color. I really like Wes Anderson films, and I'm very particular to color palettes. A lot of them are based off of dreams, nightmares, and feelings that I can't express. So my newest collection is called Daydreams of the Void, and they are truly based off of my dreams and just bizarre ideas that I have. I love creating different layers. There's sometimes over 100 layers in creating these, and they can take from days and sometimes weeks and months, depending on what I'm making. I do greeting cards, I do letter sets, I do just a lot of different printed goods. So I'm a big list person. I'm extremely organized. So every time an idea comes, I would wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, I have this idea of clouds as trees or something. And I would write it down. I have like a notepad. And then I start with sketches and I scanned it in. I start digitalizing it. And it's really from start to finish. I print it out. I really enjoy the production side of it too, being able to feel the paper. I'm a big paper lover, as you can tell. So I love being to feel the product physically when it's done. The goal of my art is to make people think. I want to leave the imagination to them. And a lot of people would walk by and they wouldn't know what it is at first, and they would look at it and they're like, oh, and they would read the title of it. It's called This Too Shall Pass. And sometimes it would really feel like, oh, like that kind of got me. Because it is about a piece about grief, about heartbreak, and it's taking time to heal from it. So there is another layer to it than really bright colors. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for people to feel something and to use their imagination too. I love St. Louis, and St. Louis is home. I love places that I've been to or places that I just find really interesting. Like I love Botanical Garden, the Climatron, Art Museum, and it's also inspired by Wes Anderson colors, if you can look at the colors. It's very retro and bold. I would say Laumeier is my first juried art fair, so it did give me a lot of confidence to be able to participate in it. And the crowd is amazing. Everyone is really supportive, and I love being able to show off my work.
Next week, go behind the glass at the St. Louis Zoo and come face to face with bugs and more. Plus, they're our furry best friends, and they help us in so many ways inside a dog's unique power. Thanks for watching Spotlight. Join us for a brand new episode on Thursdays.